Under Carlo Ancelotti's reign, Real Madrid always decides their own fate. And whether they win or lose, they take full responsibility. And this time, Real Madrid asserted their mettle with a dominant performance at the Etihad Stadium. The first leg of the Champions League playoff round between Manchester City and Real Madrid delivered a thrilling back-and-forth encounter on the road. Los Blancos secured a 3-2 victory thanks to Jude Bellingham's decisive goal in stoppage time. Man City was once an unstoppable winning machine, but now, they have become a disjointed, exhausted, and identity-less team. Despite trying to adjust his tactics, Pep Guardiola couldn't find a solution to Real's counter-attacking threat. If the Spanish royal team had finished better, this match could have been a real nightmare for the Etihad hosts. The statistics don't lie. Real Madrid only controlled 42% of possession, but their expected goals, XG, ratio was 3.42. On the other side of the pitch, Man City's XG was only 1.06. Throughout the match, the visitors took 20 shots, almost double the home side's tally. This was the Etihad, but Real Madrid played as if they were just having a stroll. Even when repeatedly trailing after Erling Haaland's brace, Carlo Ancelotti's men showed composure. They appeared cold, but frighteningly so. In this match, Pep Guardiola understood that Man City's defense was no longer as solid as before. And he tried to compensate by using 4 center-backs, pushing John Stones higher to increase ball control. But even with this setup, the citizens still couldn't create solidity. The distance between the lines was too large, making the build-up play lack fluidity and causing awkwardness in escaping the press, making Man City harmless against a calculated Real Madrid. At many points, the citizens even put themselves in difficult situations with errors and risky passes. In this match, Real shot 20 times, with 8 on target, double Man City's 11 and 4. With their superior attacking ability, the reigning champions secured an important victory. Erling Haaland twice gave Man City the lead in the 19th and 80th minutes. But Kylian Mbappe, Brahim Diaz, and Jude Bellingham helped the visitors turn the game around with goals in the 60th, 86th, and 90+2 minutes. If Mbappe had been successful instead of hitting the post, hitting goalkeeper Ederson, and shooting over the bar with no one marking him, the match could have been easier for Real. According to coach Carlo Ancelotti, the match was perfect in almost every aspect, from the players' efforts, the ability to create chances, to the never-give-up spirit. He also praised the defensive quartet of Ferland Mendy, Aurelien Tchouameni, Rodrigo, and Federico Valverde, who started together for the first time. Before this match, Real lost a series of key defensive players, including Antonio Rudiger, David Alaba, Dani Carvajal, and Eder Militao due to injury. Man City's attack is also no longer the sharp spear it used to be. Haaland, despite scoring 2 goals, was contained for most of the time. Kevin De Bruyne was lost, and only individual moments from Gvardiol or Phil Foden helped the hosts find some chances. But compared to their previous devastating performances, Pep Guardiola's team is no longer scary. De Bruyne was once Real's nightmare. He sowed terror with his sharp passes and delicate finishes. But in this match, the Belgian star was just a shadow of his former self. Every touch from De Bruyne was off the pace. Every pass lacked accuracy. Every decision lacked confidence. Guardiola may have hoped for the Belgian star's class to salvage the situation. But keeping him on the field for too long only further exposed Man City's decline. Despite some moments of inaccuracy, Real Madrid was still the more proactive team and controlled the game better. They didn't need to press frantically, didn't need to exhaust their energy, because Man City simply self-destructed with silly mistakes. Kylian Mbappe continued to prove the difference of a superstar. He not only moved intelligently but also scored one of the strangest goals of his career. A seemingly meaningless play that clearly demonstrated his danger. However, the real turning point came from the appearance of Brahim Diaz, a player who could start for any team in the world. Brahim brought a breath of fresh air, disrupting Man City's defense and igniting the emotional comeback. Thanks to him, Real not only won but also asserted their absolute dominance. But the hero this time was still Jude Bellingham. Coach Carlo Ancelotti probably wished he had 2 Bellinghams. one to manage the midfield, one to lurk in the penalty area. But since there's only one Bellingham, the Real Madrid captain gave him a dual role, both midfielder and hidden striker. And the 21-year-old talent has been and is fulfilling this task excellently. The decisive goal against Man City was a textbook play from Bellingham. Despite starting 5 meters behind John Stones, the English midfielder still showed impressive acceleration, surpassing his compatriot to receive Vinicius's pass. A precise volley sent the ball into the empty net. The goal-scoring situation was simple, but how Bellingham made everything look simple is what's remarkable. Speed, decision-making ability, and finishing skills all reached perfection. Bellingham's 11th goal of the season, and his 3rd in the Champions League. In terms of goals, the English midfielder is still behind Kylian Mbappe by 2 or 3, Vinicius by 16, and Rodrigo by 11, but Carlo Ancelotti considers Bellingham's importance and influence to be number 1. No one is better than Bellingham at both leading the play and scoring effectively. In the match against Man City early this morning, Bellingham injected inspiration into Real's play in the opening minutes, helping the Spanish team have great opportunities to take the lead. The English midfielder was excellent in transitions and connecting with his teammates. In the second half, Bellingham repeatedly warned Man City's defense with a header that went wide and a one-on-one with Ederson. But in the end, Man City's defense still couldn't stop Real's hidden goalscorer. With what happened at the Etihad, if Real Madrid doesn't finish off their opponent in the second leg, that would be the real shock. Conversely, Man City is no longer the team that once sowed terror across Europe. They have lost their sharpness, lost their confidence, and above all, they no longer have the ability to fight back strongly as before. Speaking after the match, coach Pep Guardiola stated that he was not good enough to help Man City get a favorable result. This is the 4th time in a row we've met Madrid here. In the previous 3 times, we were far superior to them. However, today the match was very tight. There were times when they created chances and Ederson was our best player. We controlled the game, but they played better. That's what's been happening to Man City in many games this season. The players lost focus in the final minutes. Conceding 2 goals in 6 minutes is unacceptable for a big team like Man City. The players need to look at themselves and take responsibility together. Of course, we did many good things, but there are still things we can improve. I always praise the opponent for the quality they have. However, when you look at the final result, it's hard to accept. This happens too often, and the opponents are not easy. Coach Pep Guardiola shared. What about you? Especially the citizens and the Madridistas. How do you feel about the result of this match? And what will the scenario be like for the second leg at the Bernabeu? Leave a message below in the comments for commentator Kenneth to know. For now, goodbye and see you in the next programs.
Stay, don't you go. You make my every cell flow, my every breath slow and go. Yeah, that's how you make me feel I'm yours. You